What's up, everybody? So today we are going to be doing a drive shaft recall on a Transit. So basically what that means is the recall is to put a U-joint right here at the end, at the drive shaft, at the, oh my gosh, transmission output. So we're going to be changing out this drive shaft as well as the flange that this goes to. So yeah, let's do it. Shouldn't be too bad. Holy mackerel, that was tight. Stinking seized in there like no other. Wow. Alright. Let's get this transmission thrown into neutral. Home girl. There it is. Okay. Reverse neutral. And we should be able to rotate this, which we can. Get this last bolt out of this. Okay. There we go. Alright. Alright. Get these out. Alright. Put those over here. Okay, let's take this out. There. There's that. Okay, now let's get the rear drive shaft bolts out. On Fords, at least, they are a 12 point. Alright, I'm gonna rip these out and then I'm gonna get some help to get this drive shaft out here, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. You know what? I can't find anything and anyone, and sometimes you just gotta man up and do it. Hand on this. Okay. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. There we go. Alright. Now, we gotta remove this. Put this back in park. Rip this off. Nice. Get that off. Side, pull the flange. We're gonna replace this flange. So, per the recall, they actually don't have you replace this seal. Usually what I'll do is if they're leaking, I'll replace them, but if not, I just do follow the recall and I just don't replace them. Some kind of something to lube it up so it doesn't damage the seal going in. Set right up there. Got your new nut. $59 foot-pounds. Get this torque down. Alright, there we go. And 59. 59, okay. And I gotta rotate it. Let's put her back in neutral. Right about there, so I can get a decent stamp on it. Get your hammer. Let's stamp this ear down. Okay, there's one. We're back in neutral. Right about there. Let's stamp this guy down. Beautiful. All right, so that part is done. Now we are on to the drive shaft part. So this is easy too. So basically get these clamps off. Rotate this. Okay. Let this off. Separate the. There we go. Separate the front from the rear. Alright, so this is the one that's junk. And we're putting in a new one that has a universal joint. But here's the junk one. There's the new one. Left. Right here. Oh. The guard off. Put our new boot on. Which is this guy. Let's put a little clamp on there. Alright, get the two clamps on it. It's ready to go. Here we go, that's on. So now these actually have okay, get these lined up. So they have splines, like, so two of the splines right here, see how they're like meshed? They go into the gap with two splines worth. So that's kind of what I'm lining up right now. I know you guys can't really see much, but there, just like that. Now we're just getting this drive shaft on. Alright, nice. Got that on. Now we got our special tool here. And this will crimp these down. So, squeeze them. And it kind of draws them in. Tap it flat. There we go. And do the same on this one. Crimp it down. Tap it flat. There we go. That's the new drive shaft, isn't it pretty? But yeah, that's all we're doing it for. This little U-joint right here. Alright. Let me get some help and throw this up, and then I'll show you guys where we're at. Alright. So I was able to get this drive shaft hung with some help. Now, let's get everything bolted back in. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. These bolts started. Nice. Now they're starting. Yeah, these are all fresh bolts with new Loctite on them. Per the recall. And honestly, at the dealerships, we replace them every time, just because that would really suck to lose a drive shaft. Rotate this. That. Alright, that's all good. Through here? Yeah, okay. Alright, get these tightened on. Cool. Alright guys, that is the Drive shaft recall on Transits complete. Looks beautiful. Good job, guys. I appreciate your help. Have a good day.